So in the Word, we learned that there's something about Mary. So why are there three Marys? You're learning that the mother of Jesus is named Mary, the sister of Jesus is named Mary, and then there's Mary of Magdalene or Magdalena. But basically, that place of Magdalene, or there's other names, but Mary of the Nativity, the mother of Jesus, they're all named Mary. Why is the name Mary so popular? Well, I can't really tell you that, but I'll say this: that even for this, the church was really built by women. It was founded by women, and really, what Jesus would actually teach, that the fact that the importance of that feminine presence is just to say that they really did help build the church. I mean, that those really the was really taught. But for Mary Magdalene, that importance, she was weeping. She had tears, you know, that fell on the feet of Jesus, and she wiped it with her hair. Also, there's moments with perfume as well. So those are the moments that a lot of people were looking down upon. But again, they're important moments to say that those were the moments that were emotionally vulnerable for Mary Magdalene, and she really did. She was really a big provider to what the church is today. That's actually really a good thing. I feel like even most people don't understand why he did what he did, or because people are, I would want to say, it's sort of their connection and relationship with the word, with God. But I will say this, that a lot of people are hurting right now, and that is the sense of, to say, like, you know those tears, you know drying them with your hair. That's the symbolic. I think the Alabaster Box song by CC Winans, that was very powerful, I believe, to just to explain what the scene was like. Um, for Mary Magdalene, we're looking at the scenario of, she really didn't care about being embarrassed, things like that. She really did have a heart, um, after Jesus. So their relationship was, as the basis of it, was a relationship. It was really a relationship. So that's one thing you have to look at. That sometimes that Yeshua Messiah had chosen you before the foundation of the world. He called you by name. So this is one of those things that you have to look at and say, those are things where he chose you. You didn't choose him. You don't really choose Jesus. He chooses you. And in that scenario, that's why you're the way you are. Everyone's the way they are today because he chose you. He knows who you are. He knows how you're built. He knows all that stuff. So don't worry about, I gotta do this. I gotta be perfect. I mean, for him, but it's the thing is the bridegroom. I mean, if you understand their relationship, you'll understand who Yeshua Messiah is, um, in that regard. So all the other stuff about, you might say, about being, changing this and this, that they're gonna go back to Mary Magdalene. So again, another harlot story, but the idea now is the fact that it doesn't matter. You're already chosen. I already told, like, those things like that, where it's just to say, like, you're already chosen. So not to be proud of arrogance, because you do care. Those people, again, they might say this and this and this and that, but those are the facts that in your life you just have people who choose you, and that is what they choose. It doesn't have to be X, Y, and Z, this and this and this scenario, this time, because these are the relationships that God is promoting. These are the friendships that God is promoting. This is the world that God is promoting. Until the time is up. But for the most part, it's sort of how you can understand the chaos. It's not that you're going to fix the chaos; it's how you understand it. If God is has created, a world that has chaos and has order, is this how you understand it? It's how you mend, these broken pieces, right? And this is how you can mend the scars of somebody else's, mess, your life, your chaos, your order. Basically, it's how you can take the macroverse and make it into your microverse, because it's the relation of how can you take these simple ideas and say, this is what we can do out of this and this and this. This is the mind that God has given you. So again, I want to just say this, that again, in other religions, the lore about the angels is that they would bow again to the man, because to Adam, because the guy Iblis, it was the thing he wouldn't bow. So the end of it all is that the tree of knowledge of good and evil was a reminder of how many sins you had. It's the reason why you have guilt, what reason why people die, things like that, why people cry, they lie, all that stuff like that. But without that knowledge of good and evil, if you have no idea what you do, it's probably more easier to get forgiven in those cases. So just to looking at the chaos around in the world, it's just something to understand. People always want to fix something, want to make it look a certain way, want to be perfect, want to please. But in the end, you're trying to please, you're trying to, at the same time, put your will ahead of God's will. So there's something to be said about even the chaos and the order, all of its stuff. Just to say, that's the foundation of not just even the word, but about life itself. It was understanding what we had, what we didn't have. We had love, we had joy, we had peace. If you don't have these things in your life, you're going to want a certain way, make things look a certain way, of course. But you need to ask God, what does He want in this season? It might not look how you want it to look like. It's going to make you feel like, oh, Nineveh should have been destroyed. Oh no, Nineveh, it should have been destroyed. But what you didn't realize is a lot of people repented in Nineveh. All right, they repented and they changed their ways. So sometimes we're still stuck on yesterday when we should be still stuck on like today, because there's a lot of things that we should have let go in the past and we haven't let go, and that's why it's holding us back. All right, I don't know who I'm talking to right now, but the past is the past and the present is the present. Let it go, because what happens if you're on a sinking ship, you get off the sinking ship, and you see the ship actually coming back up. You're like, I thought that ship was gonna sink, but because you got off that ship, it started to actually rise again. So we insult the ship because we got off, but we realized that sometimes that person on that ship was the problem. So he has to leave again that ship. This all goes back to Jonah, but when he had to jump off into the whale, the storm will stop. So these things that you're looking at, what's going on around you, it's sometimes I had to look at myself and say, the world was like it is because I was the problem. And you're like, oh, you might not think that, but that's the way it might be, because there are certain people that God has placed in your life, because He even says, you know what, I chose them for you, and let's see what you can do. Let's see how you can arrange it, because now this is your life. I'm not going to live your life for you. I'm going to have you live your life and then see what you can do with it. So it's those, much is given, much is required. The talents He's given you, the things that you might keep hidden, things that you might keep buried, because that the husbandman is coming. So those types of things where you say, I'm gonna bury the talent because it's not worth it. I'm just gonna keep it, and then I'm just gonna hand it to him. But it's the multiplying of what you have and increasing it. Of course, be patient. I have a lot of things in the vault. I know things like, well, he's not working hard. No, I got a lot of things in the vault right now. I've been doing a lot of work you haven't been seeing. A lot of things in the vault. In fact, these videos are just my downtime. But a lot of things. So be patient. I won't even share them yet. I got another book coming out. So another 3 books coming out. So in the next 4 months. So those are those things we're heading toward. 2021 is going to be an awesome year for a lot of people. Again, I'll probably break for the holidays. I'll give y'all a break. So I won't see you till January. I won't see you till January. I know you might think, what? But I give you, because this is gonna be a long holiday. So it's gonna be a good one. So restoration season, again, recoup, restore. Everything you've lost is gonna come back to you in 2021. I speak it, I declare it. What people don't know about the high priest, what they say, when they speak in the word, is gonna be the law of the land. So again, when he forgives you of sin, he could have been alive and just said, "I've forgiven you." He could say that because of those very things, because he was the high priest for those very years. So those are things where people need to look at the history behind Jewish culture, the Hebrew, learning the Hebrew words, because you could be, saying a different thing when you translate the English word into Hebrew. Again, we talked about some of those words, but so the Hebrew translations, because it's called a living language. Other languages like maybe the Latin, no offense, but it's just they call the Latin, the Pig Latin, the dead language, not because it means death, but because not a lot of people use the Pig Latin and things like that. Latin, you can study it in class, but the Hebrew is called the living language. But there's a whole lot of other things. Aramaic is another one. We say Yeshua for Aramaic, Jesus for Greek, and then Yahushua is the Hebrew. And people say Yahushawashi, all the other things, Yawashi or what. The other things like that, of course. But besides that, again, just have a great rest of the holidays, and God bless. God bless everybody. Yeah, definitely. Even with the lessons we learned, it's great things are coming up, and the storm is passing. The storm is passing because it's about the work you do. It's sometimes it's always personal, and yeah, you might not see it yet, of course, but now you're seeing that government wasn't a thing, or you're seeing that a lot of the other things around you weren't really like a big. They were a deal. They could set laws. They still can. But what you got inside of you is much more powerful than anything you'll see outside of you. So yeah, if you got him inside, if you got the living God inside of you, you should be fine. You should be fine again. So peace be still, everybody. I'll see y'all next year. Happy New Year.